Welcome back to Tech Tech. I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles. And if you haven't heard, if you're a Windows user, Windows XP will no longer be supported by Microsoft coming up very shortly. Now, here at Fox, we happen to use both Windows and Macs, so we have both, but our computers actually in the office are being changed out as we speak to be upgraded. You have Windows 7 or Windows 8, of course. Joining us live to talk about this is Sanjay Castellino. He is in Austin, Texas, talking to us. He's a vice president of marketing at Spiceworks. And Sanjay, I have to say, this is a pretty big deal, and a lot of people may not realize how big of a deal it is, especially when you're a Windows user and you have a computer that still uses Windows XP.
It's amazing how many people are actually still using XP. Some estimates as high as 500 million PCs still have Windows XP on them. And as of April 8th, which is a few days away, Microsoft will no longer support XP, and that means you won't be able to get technical support or security updates.
And you mentioned how many computers, and especially with all the malware and all the attacks that have been happening, obviously increasing by the day and becoming more prominent. How easy is it for someone to upgrade to XP for those who are not computer literate? How quickly can it be done, and does it cost money?
Well, it absolutely costs money, and how quickly it can be done is depending on how much money you're going to spend. Some people just go out and buy new hardware, and that new hardware comes with a new operating system. Alternatively, people can try and upgrade their existing hardware. Sometimes that can be a little difficult, though, because new operating systems have new system requirements, and sometimes old hardware won't meet those requirements. And then once you're done with the hardware and operating system, you got to think about the software that you are running on that XP machine. And some of that software, upgrading that might cost you something as well.
Right, and you have a choice, right? You can go up to Windows 7 or Windows 8.
That's right. You can go up to Windows 7 or Windows 8, although I believe most new PCs today come with Windows 8.
Right. I assume probably if it's not much different in price, it would make sense to go to Windows 8 because eventually Windows 7 won't be supported any longer either. Kind of like Windows XP or Windows 98. We joke around here at Fox that some of us probably still use.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're buying yourself a little bit of extra time if you go to the latest thing, but it's also operates a little differently than what you're probably used to with XP, so the learning curve might be there for you.
What about the applications? There are a lot of people and a lot of businesses that are tied to Windows XP. It was such a huge rollout when it came out. It's 8 years now, I think it's been out, right?
It's actually been out about 12 years now.
Is it 12 years? Holy smokes, time flies.
Yeah,
it was a huge rollout. There was some controversy, of course. Anytime you have a brand new system, it was a big deal for Apple back then. Obviously, 7 and 8 were also big deals. I don't think as big of a deal as the XP rollout. So a lot of people are really tied to this system, and they have a lot of applications that work off it. So you're talking about it's going to be, I guess, a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of manpower to get these changed for a lot of people.
Oh, you bet. The time it's going to take for people to get applications ported over to new operating system, and sometimes you might be using an application that isn't available on a new operating system, so you might be forced to keep XP around and just keep it in a corner and use it for a specific application. But there's a lot of time and investment that's going to go into upgrading this machine. Of course, the downside of not upgrading is pretty high and can come at any time. So it's sort of like a ticking time bomb if you keep XP and choose not to upgrade.
Right. So I assume there will be some, I don't want to say startups, but there'll be some people out there that will open up their own private business to continue to support XP on their own. Was that a kind of a byproduct of this? There'll be some computer savvy folks out there. They'll be like, we can help those people at least get by for a little bit longer by helping support XP, or are you not going to see a lot of that? What's your take?
Well, yeah, no, you'll absolutely have people trying to support it, but just remember those people can't change the software and the code, if you will, that makes up Windows XP. So if there is a security problem or an exploit, they can't fix those. And Microsoft's actually going to be keeping the updates to their security suite coming for I believe almost the next year. The problem, of course, with that is that that's going to tell you have a problem, but there's still no way to fix the problem. So it's kind of like having a fire alarm with no fire department.
Right. And so, simply put, if you have XP, you need to change. That's simple.
Yep.
Whether it's going to cost you a lot of money or a little bit of money, you're going to have to change, and there's really no other option.
That's right. And you know, it's basically time has come. Microsoft's given people a lot of notice. Folks have known for several years now what the XP end of life date was, and many people hadn't prioritized it, hadn't gotten around to it, and now we're a few days away.
And time flies. Sanjay Castellino at Spiceworks. You can find out more about what they do on their website at www.spiceworks.com. And you can follow them also on Twitter at Spiceworks. That's what I meant to say. At Spiceworks is where you can find more about Sanjay. We appreciate you joining us from Austin, Texas, and giving us the latest on the ramp up, or the ramp down, if you will, from Windows up to Windows 8. So Windows XP to Windows 8. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles, and you're watching Tech Take.